Hey, good to see you again. The factory sent over the parts that were looking good on the rig. They're being fitted as we speak. Have a look at the report.
Hello everyone and welcome to my F1 2017 career mode here today around Canada. As you can see here, getting an MGU-H wear upgrade because, you know, I found that in the last race it was wearing quite a bit, so felt like I'd get that. But without further ado, let's hand over to Crofty and introduce you to practice.
We are live in Montreal at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, where the teams are making final preparations before today's practice session gets underway. In 1999, the outside track wall, situated on the last corner of the lap, ended the race of 3 Formula One world champions, Damon Hill, Michael Schumacher and Jacques Villeneuve. Since then, the wall has come to be known to fans around the world as the infamous Wall of Champions.
Turns 13 and 14 are definitely the most demanding corners on the track. A quick chicane section, entering at over 180 miles per hour, drivers use plenty of curb and get very close to the wall. But hitting those curbs at the wrong angle can easily put the car offline. You'll see a lot of drivers bail out of committing into turn 13, using the escape road to avoid contact with the wall.
So here we are then, coming across the line to finish our track acclimatization program, getting purple across the board, which I was quite happy with, to be honest, because I do like the Canadian Grand Prix, the track on this game, and other games as well by Codemasters, so I do like it. And we get a purple tyre wear test as well, so things going well so far in this in these practice sessions so far. And coming across the line now, and now that really annoyed me. I had pretty much the entire circle in the green, and it gave me a red because a fingernail's width of it went into the red. I wasn't happy with that. But then we get purple on qualifying pace, so that's alright. And then we get, once again, we get purple on race strategy as well. But we'll not actually got green because it starts to rain. But without further ado, I will now hand back over to Crofty to introduce you to qualifying.
Hello and welcome from the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, home to the Canadian Grand Prix, for today's qualifying session.
So here we are then, coming across the line to start our many qualifying laps here today in qualifying. As usual, I'm going to show you the start and the end of all of the runs. So here we are now, coming across the line to, as you can see at the minute, we're currently in 17th, but where do we improve to?
It's a bit disappointing, but we just need to push hard.
14th position. It's not bad for the Grand Prix, let's hope we can make up some positions.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top 3. Vettel, Hamilton and Kimi Räikkönen. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow, where we'll be live with all the action. And until then, it's goodbye.
So as you can see, they're qualifying in 14th position. I think that's the first time actually we've out-qualified Carlos Sainz. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's the first time we've out-qualified him. I can't quite remember. In between Magnussen and Palmer, but without further ado, let's get into the race for the Canadian Grand Prix.
Canada has a true love affair with Formula One. The grandstands here are always packed to capacity. It's a favourite for fans and drivers alike then here in Canada. We're used to seeing the unexpected happen here, and with me today to enjoy it all is Anthony Davidson, a man who knows firsthand the surprises that can pop up in this race.
I do indeed. I had a good chance at some points here in 2007, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. My old colleague Takuma Sato, though, he managed to finish 6th, so the team took home 3 valuable points, and that was a big boost to everyone at the time. I'm not sure I can think of anywhere else that so consistently provides the kind of late race excitement we get here. Obviously, towards the end of the Grand Prix, the brakes are getting worn, maybe the weather situation has changed, so there's a lot to keep fighting for all the way up to that final corner.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Räikkönen, Bottas, Felipe Massa and Ricciardo, Verstappen, Perez, Ocon and Nico Hülkenberg, Grosjean, Stroll, Kevin Magnussen and a Toro Rosso, Sainz, Palmer, Fernando Alonso and Paris. Pascal Wehrlein, Van Dorn and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
The team's really happy with how you're driving so far this season. Let's get another good result and show them you want that #1 driver status.
I mean, I don't know if I'm that happy with my performances, Jeff, but sure, whatever. As you can see here, I'm going to change a few of these strategy bits around. I'm going to put more fuel in the car, because for some reason they underfueled it, I don't know why. And I think I'm going to change the strategy as well. From I was going to do a 2-stop, but then I realised that, you know, the ultras and the super softs can go quite far. So I never bothered to use the softs because, you know, obviously there's no mandatory tyres. I don't think they are actually this year at all. I don't know if I'm wrong with that. I don't know. Someone will have to tell me in the comments. I'm sure someone will. But there we are then. Changing the strategy up to ultras and then super softs. It's a one-stop strategy. So without further ado, I think we should get underway with the formation lap. So hope you've all been enjoying the series so far. I certainly have. It's been a fairly interesting one. You know, obviously on a new game. All the new stuff that's there, all the new handling models and the crash physics and the new AI and all that. The only annoying thing is that the AI seems to be a bit OP in qualifying. But if you want to try and stop that happening, then what you need to do is you need to like not fast forward the time when you're sat in the garage, or retire from the session early, and then go out right at the end of the session. Set your lap, and then you should be okay then, because you won't drop down major positions to like last from 12th or something. But as we now line up onto the grid then for the Canadian Grand Prix, hopefully we can get a good start here. I'm hoping, because I want to get some more points, and I want to follow up a podium. I want to follow up that podium in Monaco with another podium here possibly. But as we get 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Lights out, and away we go here for the Canadian Grand Prix. We've got off to an average start. Grosjean has gone off to an absolutely awful start. We're now squeezed on the outside of, almost gone into the back of Hulkenberg there. We go around the outside of Hulkenberg, possibly sticking it down the inside of Ocon, no. And then we've got Stroll, I think that is, on our outside. And we're now going to try and go down the inside of him into this corner here. And we make the move stick just about, I think, yep. Now we're going to stay on board here. As we're going to keep behind Ocon, we're going to go down the inside of maybe his teammate as well, no. And obviously the Force Indians have some tensions there in the ranks as we just about touch Ocon's side pod there, because I lost the back end a little bit. But we're now staying in the slipstream and go down the inside of Ocon, stick our nose in. May have been a slight corner cut there, don't judge me for that. But we're now up into 9th place, so that's a good start there for myself. We're now pushing Perez through that corner basically, as we now go down the inside of Perez once again, well not once again, but again, and we get that position for 8th place. And we now cut on to lap 3, or the end of lap 3. We've got DRS on Daniel Ricciardo. Not going to go for the move into the Wall of Champions chicane, or the last chicane, because, you know, the Wall of Champions, like I said. But we're now in the slipstream of Daniel Ricciardo. We're going to go down the inside of the Red Bull, and are we possibly going to get it? No, we're going to stick it around the outside. He's going to stick it on the inside. He's managed to get better traction than me off that corner, and we're now going to go switch to the inside, down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo, and there it is, 7th place for the taking. And now cutting on to lap 7, it's only 7 laps to catch up to Verstappen. So it wasn't all easy, these first couple of laps, but doing exactly the same thing as we did to Ricciardo, but we get a much better exit out of the last chicane. We're now side by side with Verstappen going down, stopping his line. He touches our tyres, and we're now braking into the first corner. We try and squeeze him out, but he's still there just about, but he's backed out of it now, and we're now up into 4th place behind Felipe Massa. So yeah, cutting on to lap 11 now. They've all made their pit stops, and Hamilton has now steamed past me. I didn't bother to battle with him because he was just in a race of his own. I mean, he was literally in a race of his own out in front. And this is my pit stop now, so yeah, coming in for my one and only pit stop of the Grand Prix. I think most of the AI was doing 2 stops, because I think they went from ultras, then supers. So maybe this could work out for us, because obviously we're on the pace. Clearly we're on the pace, because we're over, we're in a net 4th at the minute. So we're on the pace quite good here. But as we come out the pit lane now, we're behind Perez, unfortunately. So Perez has jumped us, but as you can see in the top left, he's on ultras. So he has another stop to go. But cutting on to lap 14 now, we're now catching up to Sergio Perez. We're possibly going to go for a move here. No, we're not. We're going to almost go into the back of him. But Lewis Hamilton is out of the Grand Prix. What drama we have here. It's caused a VSC as well. So, like I said, he was in a race of his own, and then he retires from the Grand Prix. I don't know what the issue was. I don't know if it was engine or mechanical or what. I don't know. But he must be so angry right now. He just must be angry in general. But as we now have Palmer being overtaken by Ricciardo there, and it's compromised Perez's run out of the final chicane. We're going to go down the inside of Perez and maybe Palmer as well. We're going to go down the inside of Palmer, and that is an amazing move, if I do say so myself. Cutting on to lap 19 now, so it took me 3 laps to catch up to Ricciardo, surprisingly. And now right behind him now, we're going to go down the inside of this corner, we're going to stick our nose in, he's left the door open. We're going to go around the outside maybe, we're going to go around the outside, is he going to stick it in there? No. And we've just about got past him there for 4th place. So yeah, and as you can see in the bottom left, Raikkonen made a pit stop. So I'm now in 3rd, and now on the next lap, Felipe Massa made a pit stop. So I'm now going to go up to 2nd place. I don't know how this is happening, and then on the next lap, Valtteri Bottas made a pit stop. So that means I'm now going to go up into 1st place of the Canadian Grand Prix. Yep, you heard that, 1st place. But now unfortunately, because Raikkonen and Bottas were on fresher tyres, they managed to catch up to me 10 laps later, and now there's a huge battle for the lead. As Raikkonen's overtaken us now, we're going to defend it, and Raikkonen is still there, to be fair to him, so we tried to squeeze him out, but it wasn't successful enough. And he's still there, he's on our inside. We're going to brake later than him, or try to go down an extra gear, try and get a better exit into this corner. And now we're going to hold him off here. No, he's still there. And now we're going to hold him off once again into this corner, and now we actually hold him off we're still in 1st. But now, this was the issue. Bottas was not going to go for the inside move. But look at Van Dorn. What is he doing there? He compromised my run, and now look at the 2 behind me. And now they're going to overtake me, probably. Bottas is down the inside. I try to defend the line, and surprisingly, he doesn't hold it around the outside like Raikkonen did. So we held it, and now cutting on to the end of that lap, once again, Bottas has got DRS and obviously the superior straight line speed in that Mercedes. He steams past me, and I managed to hold him off there, and because of that, they held each other up. So yeah, and I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but Bottas has got front wing damage now, so he's going to hold up people massively. But now, with no further battling, coming around the final chicane to somehow win the Canadian Grand Prix. I have no idea how.
You worked hard for that one. Congratulations.
So, another fantastic victory for Toro Rosso today. So, Ant, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. We could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
And it's time now for the podium celebrations, and how well deserved is this one? This is a team all about giving talented young drivers an opportunity to race and to win. Toro Rosso are your winners here today. after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It's a good result for Valtteri Bottas, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I think I'll have to give it to the Toro Rosso driver. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
On to the constructors then. Ferrari moved to the top of the table. Meanwhile, Toro Rosso's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
So we've somehow won the Canadian Grand Prix here today, and that means we've moved up to 7th place, just behind Verstappen there. And as you can probably hear Anthony Davidson say there, I got driver of the day as well, so that's nice. Moving on to the constructors then, hopefully if I change it over in a minute. There we go. Toro Rosso have now moved above Force India, so hopefully we can continue this form. But without further ado, I want to hand you over to an interesting message I got when I went back to the hospitality suite.
Nothing like being trackside at a Grand Prix. The change of direction on these things is insane. I own a single-seater that I take club racing, but comparatively speaking, it's like a kid's pedal cart. And speaking of pedals, I need to borrow your right foot again. We have invitations to 2 more historic events, and we got to choose one. So, take your pick.
So for this we have a checkpoint challenge with the Red Bull from 2010 and a race with the 1992 Williams. And I decided to go with the Williams because, you know, it's different. So I will now hand you over to Crofty to introduce you to the race.
It's time for a well-deserved rest from the championship for a classic exhibition event today. It's winner takes all, so who will emerge on top in this unique challenge?
So here we are then, lining up on the grid. I will let you watch the replay of this race. So if you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.
Here come our winning drivers then, out onto the podium at the end of a thrilling Grand Prix. The drama and excitement are over, and it's time to let it all sink in. Congratulations to our top 3 today.